I was 12 when my world changed forever. My family moved from a small town overseas to a coastal city in California. The air smelled like salt and asphalt, and everything around me moved too fast: the cars, the people, even the language. English was everywhere, but to me, it sounded like rushing water, constant, loud, and impossible to catch. At home, I stayed quiet. My parents worked long hours to keep us afloat. My mom took a job at a local diner. My dad repaired fishing boats down by the docks. I helped out when I could, carrying toolboxes, cleaning tables, whatever needed to be done. But at night, when the house finally went silent, I'd sit by the window with a borrowed English textbook. I traced every word, whispered every sentence until my eyelids got heavy. I didn't just want to speak English, I wanted to own it. To one day teach it. To tell stories in it. It was a dream that felt too big for a kid like me, but it was mine. And that was enough. A few years later, I heard about a scholarship test, a ticket to study at a better school. I poured myself into it. Late nights, early mornings, flashcards taped to my wall, recordings of English phrases looping in my ears. On test day, I felt ready. Nervous, but ready. When the results came out a week later, I ran to the board. My eyes scanned for my name, once, twice. It wasn't there. I had failed. It felt like the air left my chest. I went home and sat at our tiny kitchen table, staring at my notes, wondering if everyone had been right. Maybe English just wasn't for me. That's when my mom came over. She didn't say much. She just put her hand on my shoulder and said quietly, "Even if you fall, you stand again. The only real failure is giving up." That line became the turning point of my life. After that night, I changed my approach completely. I woke up before sunrise, walked my mom to the diner, and while she worked, I'd sit in the corner with my headphones, mimicking English speakers. Every pause, every tone, every emotion. I recorded my voice and played it back, again and again. It sounded awful at first, like someone trying too hard. But I didn't stop. After school, I'd head to the library instead of hanging out. I devoured books, underlined words, watched speeches on an old phone. People laughed sometimes. "Why bother?" they'd say. "You'll never fit in." But they didn't understand. I wasn't trying to fit in. I was trying to grow out. One afternoon, I was practicing a passage from Shakespeare outside a community college when I heard a voice behind me. "You're really working hard, huh?" It was Miss Rivera, an English professor who'd overheard me. She offered to coach me after her classes. She didn't just teach grammar, she taught me confidence. She said, "Don't chase perfect. Chase effort." She taught me how to speak from my heart, how to slow down, breathe, and let the words mean something. One day, she handed me a small book about public speaking. Inside the cover, she'd written, "Speak brave. Live bold." Those words became my compass. A few months later, Miss Rivera told me about a local speech contest. I froze. The idea of speaking in front of people, in English, terrified me. But she believed in me, so I gave it a shot. I wrote my speech about dreams and persistence. I practiced until my voice cracked. And when I finally stepped on stage, something inside me shifted. I wasn't scared anymore. I was ready. When I finished, the crowd clapped. Loudly. I didn't win first place, but they gave me the Most Inspiring Speaker award. That was the first time I realized my story could move people. Years later, I applied for a teaching program in Los Angeles. When the acceptance email came, my hands shook. The first word on the screen: "Congratulations. Full scholarship." My dad hugged me and whispered, "You did it, son." And in that moment, I realized this wasn't just my victory. It was ours. Now I run a small YouTube channel called English Vibe TV. My goal? To help others find their voice, the way I found mine. I even started a free English club for local teens. One day, a shy boy looked up at me and said, "You inspire me to speak, Alex." I smiled and told him what life taught me. You already have the voice. You just have to use it, and never stop. Courage isn't loud. Sometimes it's just a whisper that says, try again tomorrow.